Hello everyone, hello. How is everybody doing today? Another Sunday night diner. Hello everyone, hello. Why I can hear myself? Everybody doing today? I'm here on live. Okay. I'm great. I have a little bit cough. I don't know. Probably, just we were going out yesterday. We went to see some botanical gardens in Tbilisi. The weather was a bit flimsy, like 5 minutes sunny, 5 minutes rain, 10 minutes sunny, 15 minutes rain. Not like hardcore rain or something like this, but still, So maybe because of this, I'm just a little bit, just tiny bit under the weather. Like I feel exactly fine, amazing. What the hell was that sound? I have no idea. But overall, I feel fine. Just a little bit of cough sometimes. Now for today, I actually planned something interesting for you. But now, and I'm planning to do a video from that later on. But I want to do it in live today. I want to check something out. Okay, we definitely, as usual, we're gonna talk. We're gonna discuss something in the chat. But I also want to talk about Victor's drawings. Okay, I think this is something very interesting. I don't have subtitles here. No subtitles. That's annoying. Okay. No, I don't think this is the conversation. Hi everybody, Purple Dark Lighter. Happy to see you. I need the conversation of Victor. Oh, no, Boyd is not there yet. So this Boyd gets in. And then Elgin gets in. Okay, moving on. He's gonna show him the doll. Yeah. Okay, I think this is the conversation. So I want to start today's live with this. Like, listen to this.
What are you drawing?
What are you drawing?
Things I've seen.
Things I've seen.
It's good to draw them when you see them. So even if you forget, pictures remember.
Okay, so remember this. Okay, this is important. Victor's images, the one that he draws, are things that he has seen. Now, you can interpret it in possible different ways. Of course, it can be something I have seen in a dream, something I visioned. But mostly it's something I have seen because, as he specifies, it's good to draw them. If you forget, then you can come back to them and it will be a memory for you. Okay, it will serve you as a memory boost. It will remind you about some things. Okay, so I think this is because what's with that sound? I have no idea what is that. Like, where is it coming from? It's like bling bling. What is this bling coming from? Discord? No, Discord is not. Bling, bling, bling. Have no idea what is that. Anyway, so, and this is the picture that Victor is drawing. Okay, we can see the doll, the ventriloquist doll sitting on the chest there, just like he has seen in the caves. So this is a proof. This is something that he has seen. And I think this is a good starting point to deep dive into Victor's drawings. is that? What is that? I'm not gonna be able to make a video out of it. Okay, everybody give me 5 seconds. First of all, let me first of all check it out. What is this sound? Where is it coming from? Let's see, put mute here. Let's put mute. It's muted. Where else can it come from? Only from YouTube. It sounds like from YouTube, but Streamlabs, probably not. Someone types in chat. Well, we're gonna have a lot of those sounds then. No, I don't want this, please. No sound for chat box. Okay. Okay, right. I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna try to record a video right now. So I'm gonna start from the beginning. Okay, I'm gonna start from the beginning, and your live chat will be there too. Now, the point for me doing this while I'm live streaming is because this is not a video where I'm coming to you already with all of the possible findings. Because Victor's drawings are pretty shitty, most of them. Not his drawings, but the quality of them. Some of them are completely unintelligent. You're not going to be able to understand what is going on there. So maybe you in the chat today, which for some reason disappeared, chat, come back. This is annoying. By the way, when I was showing the clip from, you heard the sound, right? What in the actual fuck? Properties. Why is there a sound? I don't need that sound. Okay. Hopefully it will still work even without the sound. Okay, so I'm gonna start recording and I'm gonna try to make a video out of it, and your chat, everything that you write will also be in the video. Okay, so maybe you will be able to find something and it disappeared again. Oh, for fuck's sakes, why is it disappearing? No, don't. Okay, good. Okay, so hello everybody. In today's video I want to deep dive into Victor drawings. Now, before I actually start to analyze all of the drawings, I want to start with this simple moment from second season, episode 2, when Victor explains to Boyd what he is actually drawing and why. Let's watch this moment together. Now, I'm going to see the moment, and this is the moment. Okay, so. Okay, this is the moment.
What are you drawing?
What are you drawing?
Things I've seen.
Things I've seen.
It's good to draw them when you see them.
It's good to draw them when you see them.
Forget. Pictures remember.
If you forget, pictures remember. So we understand what is the purpose of the drawings and where they're coming from. This is something that Victor has seen. Now, granted, it's probably not photographical. Of course, he is drawing as a kid. So it's more like, this was big, so I'm gonna draw it as big as possible. Or this was scary, so I'm gonna make the monster way more scary than it is. Obviously, but still, it's something that he does to remember if he forgets. So when we move to the images that Victor drew and start with the one that we have seen right now, I want to start first of all with the images that we can definitely 100% say this is something that Victor definitely has seen. Like 100%. He has seen the doll, the ventriloquist doll, in the caves, and he drew it not to forget, just like he did with the monster later. Okay, you can see that this is not exactly the monsters as we know them, but this is how Victor remembers it, and this is how he can recreate it with, with chalks, because once again, he's not a Picasso. This is an image of his family. This is something that Tabitha has seen in season 3. This is Henry, Miranda, Victor, and Eloise. Obviously, this is their family. So this is way before from everything sunny, happy, and everybody is smiling. Now, also, this image is something that probably either Victor or Eloise made. I'm not gonna focus here on the image on the top, but this is them making a camp in the tent, just like Victor did with Sarah, once again in episode 4, season 3. Not many interesting details here, just to remind you this is something that he drew, and his hands and Eloise's hands can use a little work here. Anyway, also, the bottle tree, the teleport tree, he drew it here. No interesting details here. I'm not gonna stop on every image for half an hour and try to find if there is something when there is clearly none. So we just so on some images we just gonna move forward a little bit faster. So we have the teleport tree, we have the massacre that happened probably just right after his mother's death. We have almost the same massacre. Okay, and we can see already that this is definitely from it. Like in the previous image, it was just some houses, and here we can see the gas station, we can see the motel without a motel, but this is interesting to me. This is the first moment that we need to specify, okay, and we need to focus on it a little bit, because when we have seen Victor's memories from him when he was a kid, and he went out after his mom was killed, and he has seen the boy in white and everything else, the star model was there, the sign here was there. So why would he drew it without it? Once again, you can explain it maybe because, his memory, whatever, and this is how he remembers it, and right now he tried to recreate it. But if he is making those images as he sees them, not to forget, then once again, what is it? Is that a mistake by the creators, something they didn't think in the post-production, or it's just something there that we don't know? Now, also very interesting, the same girl here with the teddy bear, we're gonna see here in the intro. It's a different image. As you can see, she has hair and head here. Here she's without a head already, but you can see the dress, it's blue on white, and it's here it's also blue on white, like the same kind of a figure of white here, and the teddy bear. So it's the same girl that died twice, apparently. Here she's with hands, without a head. Here she's without a hand, but and almost 100% this is the same girl. Now, once again, I don't know if there is something here, this is a find, and we are basically now know that this is the girl who is behind the man in yellow or something like this. Probably not, probably it's just something. But one of the purposes of my videos is not always to give you, okay, this is a solution for everything, we know now who is who and who is why. No, it's just something, okay, keep that in mind. We are getting very close to season 4, and if you want to be as sharp as possible, you need to keep in mind a lot of details that were there in first 3 seasons to make sure that as soon as something pops in, something new, you will be able to do the Leonardo DiCaprio meme with the, I see it, this is the moment. And this is why we make those videos. So once again, we have a lot of different dismemberment. Once again, a guy without a head. We have, first of all, a couple of questions from Jack Bender said that the weather is pretty dangerous in Fromville. So my theory, like he was asked why there is no star sign motel anymore, like the sign is disappeared, the star magic sign disappeared, and he said because the weather is kind of dangerous in Fromville. So my opinion, and this is just an opinion based only on my fantasies, but maybe there was some kind of a similar event in the previous cycle of the story that was similar to what was in the end of season 1 with the storm and, you know, with the clouds coming in, and then the tower broke. Maybe they tried to do something with the star sign motel there, and, you know, once again, this place was very reactive to their actions, and after the storm, after something like this, I don't know, some kind of a bad weather, the star sign actually fell down. This is one. The second thing is, you know, when John Griffin, once again, Emmanuel Noizet asked him, like, do the monsters eat the human? Like, do they eat the organs? And he said, stay tuned. Now, stay tuned is basically, it can be both no and yes, but since he saying stay tuned, that will be probably revealed. Now, if it's going to be revealed, logically we can assume that means yes, because if no, then okay, no, who gives a shit? But if yes, it's somehow connected probably to the curse, and they have to eat them, or they eat them just for sport. I don't know what it is, but my idea is that actually they do eat the organs. Now, we have the same image in the intro. Sorry, it's difficult to make it in one shot. Now we have the same image in the intro with the guy bleeding from left eye. We know that this is the same injury that was done to Elgin, very similar, but Elgin is still alive. This one is pretty dead. Now, I'm not 100% sure that every image in intro was actually made by Victor, because some of the images we can definitely say already were made by Miranda. So, but most of them, the ones that at least were done by Chalk, most likely this is Victor. Okay, so we have the skeleton and it feels like it's burning. Now we have the eye, and there is something that's coming from the left side of the eye. Now this is two different things can be here possible. One, this is Dale, actually, you know, like this is blood in his eye. This is Boyd looking at his eye and is basically seeing how blood is covering it. Or it's somehow related to the fact that a lot of different people or creatures here have kind of a whitish blurry eyes. Like the monsters, when they turn into their monster form, their eyes become kind of a blurry whitish. When Marielle, Randall, and Julie were kidnapped by the cicadas in the end of season 2, and they were in this tower locked on chains, their eyes were also very blurry like this. And the guy who were crushed by the boulder, the vision that Jade has seen in, I think, episode 3 of season 1, also had the same eyes. So maybe this is something. Now, all of those images so far, this is something that probably Victor has seen. Likely. I mean, this is the image in big. Like, this is what I told you. Some of the images are in a very bad quality. It's almost impossible to understand what is going on here. Okay, it's like, I can maybe try to make it a little bit smaller. Maybe it will help, but not that much. As you can see, it's still pretty much difficult. I don't know what is it. Is it a keyhole? Is it a sign 8? You know, the symbol 8 that we have seen, the infinity symbol we have seen many times already in the TV show. But it looks definitely like it's similar. Like, it looks like there is an eye, and you can see a circle, the white circle around it, and then it goes like this, very similar to keyhole, or like this, you know, the white circle and 2 straight lines going here. So probably it's the same image. Now, I don't know what it is. Is it a skeleton? Is it a keyhole? Is it a symbol 8? Very difficult to determine it's something here, but probably every option right now is pretty plausible. Now, the eyes is something that Victor is drawing pretty often. We can see the eye here in this image. At least it looks like an eye. You can see like an eyeball and the lashes here. So looks like an eye. The boy in white, he definitely have seen the boy in white. We know he then forgot that he has seen him. He thought it was a dream, and he drew him like big way bigger than the trees, because he was probably the biggest thing for him. At some point, for many years, the only thing that Victor was able to contact to and to talk to was probably the boy in white. Also another drawing of him, and we have the revolver. This is the gun that Victor is carrying with him. We have seen this is definitely the guy. We have the chairs in the diner. The same chairs, nothing important here, we're just moving on. This is the images that we know for 100%. Victor has seen it, just like he said, I draw something that I see. The bicycle, we have seen the same bicycle in Fromville. We have obviously the semi-trailer when he was hiding in season 2 with Tabitha and Boyd and Elgin. And inside this trailer we have some characters that we know. This looks a little bit like Marielle to me, but maybe somebody else. This is definitely Clara, you know, the girl that almost lost her eye in the beginning of season 2. This one I have no idea. Kind of a blonde woman, I don't know, maybe it's Donna, Abby, maybe, I don't know any more blonde women. My theory basically that all of those images, once again, this is not Victor drawing those images, obviously this is somebody in production team, they're making those images, and maybe there are some people in production team, maybe, you know, some people that are, you know, like beats or understudies there that you barely see them on the screen, and it's a nice gesture for them to put them here in the image, and it feels like it would be nice. Like if I would be on some kind of a backup role in Fromville, always somewhere in the background, one of the NPCs, and somebody would make an image of me, a drawing of me, like I'm part of this town. It would be nice, definitely. But this is 100% Nathan and Sarah. I don't think there is any doubt here. We can see the same clothes. Sarah with her big black shoes and white dress. I mean, this is a look you cannot miss, and you cannot confuse it with anything else. Now behind here we can see that there are some numbers, probably Victor counting days, but we're not discussing, you know, numbers and everything else. This is a topic for a different video. This is definitely Kenny, and we have some people here, like I don't know who's that guy with the mustache, I don't know who is that, maybe it's Christy, maybe not, but I don't know. This guy, I'm more than 100% sure I have seen him sometimes in the background, you know, just coming there with the people of Fromville. One of the people that basically don't have any lines, they're just there to create the feeling there are some people in From. We have that guy and that girl and that one that looks a lot like a monster. Actually, maybe it looks like Smiley, maybe even. I don't know. And we have this one, it looks like she's a stoner from the 70s with glasses, kind of a Big Lebowski kind of type. And whatever this is, once again, it could be a monster, it can be somebody, pretty hard to understand what is going on there. And we have that guy and Santa Claus here. Also, I think I have seen this guy with monsters. Okay, and this is possibly Bacta, or once again somebody who we just see somewhere on the background. Okay, what else Victor definitely has seen? We can see this is the motel sign. It looks a lot like the motel sign. We have, you know, this is clouds, sky, and this is the motel sign. Once again, very bad quality, because a lot of the images when I was making screenshots, they are blurry because the camera focuses on Victor or on somebody else, and they're very little. So when I enlarge them to be, you know, at least on half of the screen, you see it's very pixelated, but in this image it's pretty distinguishable that this is definitely the model. So we have the diner, obviously, from the intro. We have the church from the intro, and this one looks way good. Like this image looks drawn like in a very good quality. I would probably wager that this is already Miranda drew, not Victor. And this is something that Victor drew. This is the diner. We can see the diner here, like this is red here, diner, some car standing next to it. The light is on, so it's kind of feels like a night. And, you know, just some houses, blood, blue house with dark presents around it. We have once again a blue house with crows around it. Just, you know, Fromville, drawings of Fromville. We have here an image. My first impression was maybe it's a big spidery legs, but this is just some drawing that Victor probably disliked, and you can see like he was going like crazy with chalk on it, so he was trying to scratch that image. Maybe it's was living with Miranda and Eloise. and this is why he wants to scratch it out. I don't know. Okay, we have just some houses, that's it, and we can see once again, it's pretty hard to see, but there are some faces here in the window. They're looking outside and they're pretty sad. Whatever is happening here, like this red smudge here, or just blood coming out of this window, or maybe something else, I don't know, once again. And this is image possibly Victor and Eloise, Eloise's younger sister, and they're looking outside of the window, and there's definitely a monster looking at them and smiling. I don't know, maybe Victor and Eloise, maybe just somebody else. Everything is possible here. But you know, since we're talking about Victor, probably it's him and his sister, even though he was not that much taller than her. They were pretty much the same height. Okay, so just houses. The image, once again, it's a bit weird for me, but I'm looking, you know, for 100% the same image, but we know like there's a church and the graveyard is right next to the church, a little bit behind it. There is no crosses on the left and the right side of any of the houses in Fromville, but once again, a child's drawing is how he feels. Somebody wrote this in the chat and I agree with it 100%. Completely. Okay, so I cannot expect a photorealistic image from Victor at this point. So we have another image with crosses around it. So just basically how many people died. This image supposed to symbolize how many people died in this place. Now here, this black, whether it's smoke coming because, you know, somebody's cooking something, or, okay, kind of maybe feels like, once again, this dark presence, this dark spirit that basically terrorizes this town. This is the one that's living this house. Don't know. Just a couple of houses, just very pixelated yellow house, another image of Victor with the house, another house, blah, blah, blah. I want to show you all of the images, okay? I don't want to show you the images that I deem important because this is not for me to decide. I want to show you all of the images that I was able to find in 3 seasons. And by the way, I want to upload all those images to Discord. So you will be able to deep dive into them by yourself in your free time, not with me live streaming. Another house with sad people inside, pretty sad, obviously, because, you know, there are monsters outside, and just another house, a lot of houses that we have here. And this is pretty interesting. Now, this image, there's one shot with this image like this, very difficult to understand what is going on. And this is the second image. Okay, this is the same one, but it's just a little bit lighted. It just here we can see all of it with all of its borders, and here it's zoomed in only to the lower side. But what's interesting is, once again, Victor is saying what? I am drawing things that I have seen. Okay, and I'm drawing them not to forget. Now, what I'm seeing here, guys and girls, this is pretty weird, right? This is a Christmas tree. We are seeing presents under it. There's some kind of a chimney. There is, I don't know what is it, probably carpet or a table, whatever it is. But most important thing is there is a monster outside. Okay, so it cannot be before Fromville, right? Okay, so it's not a memory from their house when they were, you know, before Fromville, they had a nice Christmas together and there were presents, blah, blah, blah. Because there's a monster outside, so they are in Fromville. But once again, there was no winter, I had a very Russian accent right now. There was no winter before season 3, at least as Victor says, unless he forgot again. He's saying the weather never changes here. It's always the same here. He's saying that to Ethan at one moment. And so either they were making Christmas during the date and they were still counting days, and somebody was like, you know, it's December right now, so let's do some Christmas, and then there were monsters. Or something that never happened, or maybe something that happened in his dream. First weird drawing, the first one, considering what Victor said, that he draws something that he has seen. Now we have, once again, houses, and the houses are being, like, you know, covered with this dark presence, and let's probably talk a little bit about it. We have this white monster here, drawn on the map. Once again, I'm not gonna deep dive into the map right now in today's video because it's a different topic. It's a, I can talk about this map and the map in the semi-trailer for half an hour at least. So this is not something for today's video. Today we're just diagnosing the images. And here we are seeing monsters looking after someone who is hiding under the bed. This is an image from the intro. We can see it here. This is definitely an image from Victor's room. Okay, this is a screenshot. As you can see already, sorry, it's blurry. The same stars, the same monsters, it's just way more pixelated. This is it, and it's drawn on some paper, newspaper, and it doesn't look like monsters because it doesn't have the same body. This is what's weird. Okay, when Victor is drawing monsters, they have two hands, two legs, and a face that usually smiles. Okay, here it doesn't have two legs, it has something weird, like a lot of different legs, and it doesn't have a face. It's just black figure. Okay, so like here we also have like some kind of a monster in next to the graveyard, and it's coming from the ground. I know that everybody right now in the chat is like, yeah, coming from under the ground, from the ground. Season 2, Episode 9, Boyd, Randall, Donna, and Jim trapped in the house on the wheels, and suddenly something starts to hit the house on the wheels from under the ground. So this is something that Victor has seen. He knows what is this monsters, and it's definitely not one of the smiling monsters, one of the walkers, or one of the frombies. This is something else. Maybe this is the man in yellow, and we have seen in the trailer that he can shapeshift. He's turning into something else. Now, what is his original form? Maybe something like this. Maybe this dark presence in one of the images is just basically something dark. Now, here we can see like some black hand is towering on top of the town. We can see it here. It's different angle, just a little brighter, so we can definitely see like this is the hand, and there are people laying dead here next to the town. So once again, probably the same hand, the same dark presence of this creature, whatever this is. But in this image, by the way, there are two of those. Okay, there are two of those coming from the first floor. So is there one or more those kind of figures, whatever they are? So once again, the same claw kind of shaped hand with claws. Here I don't understand what is this blue thing on this side, but once again it repeats itself. Okay, two different images and the same hand here, so whatever this is, it probably has some importance. Now another figure of dark presence, and this looks a little bit like a female body, right? Usually when kids draw, male and female, sometimes they will draw a female with, like a dress, and the dress will be in that shape. Okay, and it's something white covered in black. Now I don't know if this is because it's a dark presence and it kind of emulates and everything transfers dark presence around it, or this is him imagining his mom, because Henry is holding this image here. This is Henry's hand, and he's imagining his mom as being this, white shape, this white figure, the figure of light, and it's being, completely covered with darkness because this is how he lost her. Maybe something like this. Now we also have here one of the images. I don't see the whole image, but it kind of looks like, once again, there are two, like, follow the mouse here, okay? It looks like there are two legs, and it kind of extends here, like this is two legs here. But once again, I can be completely wrong here. It looks like there is a forest and somebody standing in the middle of forest. And once again, it feels like there's some kind of a dark figure, but this is me not being sure at all, like at all being sure. Okay, so monsters, we have this image, this image. This is how Victor usually draws monsters. They're smiling and there's blood. Okay, like here. And by the way, I don't remember a red-headed monster, so I'm still waiting for one. Okay, so we move here. Now, this is a very interesting image, and this is something I want to discuss with you today, because once again, this is an image from the intro, and this is the drawing that definitely Victor did. This is the drawing, okay, but it's not in very good quality, so we're gonna look at this one. This is the dog. Okay, and this is the dog that follows the boy in white. And this is the dog that we know has survived somehow for 40 years, since the massacre when Victor was little and then until the Matthews' arrival. And what looks like it from the trailer, probably not gonna survive season 4. But there's some kind of a family, there's a guy, there's a girl, they're standing, they're happy, they're smiling, and they arrived to the town with a dog. So it kind of made me think, okay, so this is the same dog that we're seeing here. This is the image with the skeleton. Okay, so in one image we have someone here coming. It looks like somebody. And then there's a dog, and then there is a skeleton covered in some kind of a brown, whether it's fire or something else, I don't know. But it's definitely the same dog that Victor remembers. So you can see the shape, you can see the ears. This is the dog. So my theory is that actually it's not some kind of a magical dog. That basically, this is a spirit dog. This is actually a dog that arrived to town with some family. The family was massacred, or the couple, sorry, was massacred during what we have seen in episode 4, season 1, when Victor remembered, where everybody was killed in the town. But the dog was spared. Nobody touched the dog. Okay, and the boy in white, because he's definitely not just the boy in white, he's a very powerful spirit or something like this. Even if he's not a spirit, clearly he has some magical powers. He made this dog survive that long. He gave this dog that amount of life in this place. I don't know how, maybe it's going to be explained or no. And now, if actually our theory is that, man in yellow kills the dog and puts it in the bag on top of the motel, on top of a motel, then maybe this is man in yellow actually finishing his job from 40 years ago. Oh, I left this dog alive. Okay, now it's dead. Okay, so moving forward. Now, this is an image of Boyd bringing up the goat. This is one-to-one an image that we have seen in episode 8, season 1. We haven't seen Victor there anywhere around to see this image clearly. But still, maybe he was there. We can definitely, turn on our suspension of disbelief and say Victor was walking and the camera just didn't catch him. Okay, it's completely possible. But here's when it starts to get tricky. And I want to show you another moment from the TV show. And let's remember season 1, episode 2. It's okay, no need to talk to me, especially not in Russian in this video. Let's find this moment.
Was it drawing?
Okay, I'm good. Look how fast I found this moment. Okay, so listen to what Ethan is saying right now, because I've heard this like 55 times already, and the 56th time was kind of blew me away. Okay, so let's listen to this moment.
It hurts.
It hurts. I know, it hurt.
A little banged up.
Look,
I saw it.
I saw it.
I saw the lake of tears.
I saw the lake of tears, of course.
Was it drawing on the wall?
It was a drawing on the wall, we know. We're gonna see it as a drawing on the wall.
Many drawings on the wall.
There were so many drawings on the wall.
Like when I used to draw with crayons.
Like when I used to draw blah blah blah.
When you put it on the fridge.
Blah 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 fridge.
We were all there in the drawings.
We were all there in the drawings. We're gonna go through all of the drawings today, and we're not gonna be able to see the Matthews family there. Okay, before we even start to discuss how the heck did Ethan see Victor's room, why it's so important to show him Victor's room, because we have seen that Elgin, when he fell down and he has had the vision, it was the boy in white telling him about, they come, they break, they steal, no one here is free, here they come for free unless you stop the melody. So he gave him some instruction about how to stop this music box. The vision that Sarah had was to kill Ethan. Okay, so when Julie was having seizures, she was traveling, she was story walking, and she has seen how Boyd was actually trapped in the well and she saved him from. So why was the first vision that we actually experience as viewers here with Ethan is Victor's room? This is important, and how he was able to see Matthew's family there. You, me, Mom, and Julie. Is he gonna say something else? Nah. But somebody screamed.
Because the spider came down from the ceiling.
Because the spider came down from the ceiling. Somebody screamed because the spider came down something. That's it. Now let's get back to the images. Okay. How the hell was he able to see, first of all, images that don't exist? At least yet. Because like here in episode 3, we know that Victor drew Julie. Okay, this is a drawing of Julie. But this is it. There's gonna be a drawing of Ethan in season 2 that Ethan actually gonna draw and give to Victor to remember him. So we have 2 drawings of Julie and Ethan that can possibly be right now, technically, already later in season 2, 3, and 4 in Victor's room, but not when Ethan was having a seizure. This is pretty weird already. Okay, this is, once again, the car crash that Victor is drawing here. This is definitely not the cars of the Matthews family. Once again, he is drawing something that he has seen. As per his words, he didn't see the car crash. He was not there. He could have heard this and then draw it again from the memory of what happened to him and his family, or maybe to Christopher and somebody else if it didn't repeat in the same way. Like, because we can see even though the cycles do repeat, it's not exactly the same. For some reason, Jade is having Miranda's visions. I don't know why, instead of Tabitha. And here we have another car crash here, like some kind of a yellow car, and there is a trail track behind it. It may be, you know, like the car graveyard that Victor used, but it feels like, once again, it was driving and then stopped and it hit something. We have this image of probably Boyd being stuck in a well, even though I don't remember if he was dressed like that. Let's check this moment. Okay, let's check season 1, episode 10. Okay, the ending. It's kind of yellowish jacket, I would say. But before that, was he wearing jeans? Yeah, he's wearing jeans and kind of yellowish jacket. So possible that it's Boyd. Once again, how would Victor be able to see Boyd? Okay, we can maybe, in this situation, we can maybe say, okay, this is Miranda's drawing. She has visions and she has seen the talismans before Boyd was able to find them. So this is her vision, even though it kind of looks like a childish drawing, not a drawing made by Miranda. Okay, but maybe Victor is able to see the future and draw it. But then again, what boat he has seen and from where? This is definitely Victor's drawing because this is from his room and we can see some kind of a boat. And we know that boat is pretty important, especially to Boyd. And we're seeing some kind of a like black figures, some people like doing some gestures to this boat. Whatever it's supposed to mean, I don't know, but it's there. So what boat he has seen? Well, if we take into consideration that everything that happened to Victor is supposed to happen again, like it was hinted very heavily in season 1, through his drawings, like when he started to dig the graves, and then there was massacre in episode 7, and he knew exactly what is going to happen, and he was like, I want to be ready this time. It was heavily hinted that everything that happened to him is supposed to happen again. So it means we're going to have to see a boat in Fromville. How is it gonna come? Where is the connection to the water? There is the lake next to the village, the new village, but it's a lake. We can see all of its borders. There is Brundles, and I don't think there's any kind of boat actually can enter Brundles. I don't know. What do you think? Like this image, No idea what the hell is that. It looks like blood drops. Or it's red sperm. I don't know. And this is very interesting because this looks a lot like an island. Look at this. Even just a little bit like a floating island, even though this looks like a water here. This is the trees, this is the circle, so this is probably from world, but it does feel like there's an island. See, we have a freaking lighthouse. We're supposed to have some kind of a entrance or exit to open sea or whatever it is, something that connects this place to the real world. And I think that the most logical explanation, that if you don't want to fall from the lighthouse every time, is that you will need to find the water. Through this water, you will be able to escape to a different world, to our world, sorry. But this island is very interesting to me because once again, Victor is saying, I'm drawing something that I have seen. Now, if he has seen the future, or if he has visions, if he knows what's gonna happen, and he draws them too, not just only something that he's seen in his eyes, with his eyes, then it would mean like this kind of a island, something is explaining where are we, what is this place, what is Fromville actually is. Now this is something, I don't know what the hell is this. If you can say to me what you see here and you have something that your intuition tells you this is, I would love to know. So far, me, nothing. And here also kind of looks again like some kind of a, I don't know, maybe jar, big jar, or maybe big island, whatever it is. Okay, big fire. A lot of people, a house burning, like a big fire, not a small one. Supposed to happen. We have seen the Civil War soldier that was shooting at Jade. He has a burning scar on the left side of his face. So other civil soldiers were hanged on the tree. Something here is definitely gonna happen again. I'm not gonna be surprised if in Season 4 is gonna show us a big fire, because it's supposed to repeat itself. The story is supposed to repeat itself, and this is how it eliminates everybody in there. Now, I don't know if there's gonna be some kind of a race relations, but if you bring up Civil War, and the main topic of the Civil War was obviously the slavery, so race relations can be very important in this situation. Maybe something, because the Civil War soldier was black, and the drawings that Miranda and Eloise did, both of them were also black, so maybe it's somehow related to this. Don't know, but definitely there's gonna be some kind of a big fire there. Now, and I forgot to put this image before. I was supposed to show it like when Julie was escaping in episode 7, season 1. We can see once again an eye. Victor's drawing eyes a lot. And actually, Alice is also draws eyes. And in his room with Fatima, there are also some drawings with an eye looking at everybody from the top. And obviously, it's not, you don't need to be genius to understand. We know that everybody is watching them. Martin knew what Abby was saying. All of the monsters know all of their names, even before they they only arrived, and one of the monsters was already like, Julie, don't you recognize me? So they know who they are. So somebody is watching. Somebody is definitely watching everything that happens in Fromville. Now, there is this image, which is very interesting to me because I'm interested in spiders. And this is an image. Under the town, we have a spider web. Now, this is once again, Victor is probably drawing. He knows a lot those caves, and he drew them for some reason as a spider web. Now, my theory is because one of the main entities here is somehow supposed to be connected to spiders. I don't know how, but it's somehow supposed to be connected, because also here we have the town, the trees. It feels like they are the ones, especially this one, creating some kind of a circle-ish dome around every house. So I had this theory that, the roots, it's not exactly theory, it's almost like we're almost confident already, because, this is something that was said in the TV show. The trees, the roots of the trees, they created the forest. Okay, the forest basically kind of creates this dome this place, because the roots is the lower part, the canopy is the upper part, and that way you enclose this whole area. And those trees are magical because their roots are magical, and they're the one who creates this, simulation of circling around here. Like it's not, virtual simulation, not a computer simulation, but you're not really in the same, like in our world, not the same physics, like your universe is being basically danced to one little circle here of this area. So we have also this image, which once again makes us think that Victor either can see the future or it happened exactly the same in his time, because we can definitely see here a broken window and what looks like a crow or a raven going through this window, like everything that happened in season 3 when Fatima and Tilly was doing tarot card reading for Fatima, and then suddenly the crow basically broke the window and killed itself to stop the reading. So this place once again reacted somehow to stop something that it didn't like. But this is an image from season 1. This is episode 9, season 1. And we just talked about it. The crow incident happened in season 3. So how was Victor able to see it? Either he can see the future, or it definitely happened the same way in his cycle of the story. So this is something very interesting, and a lot of us are waiting for something like this. It looks like there's going to be a flood. So there's going to be a big fire. There's going to be a flood apparently, because we can see that one of the houses is covered with something blue, probably water. And there is somebody who's standing on the roof and somebody who's laying here on the roof. And there is something sticking out of it, probably dead. I don't know what it is. But once again, maybe we're going to have some kind of a 7 punishments for Egypt kind of situations. Like we're going to have fire, we're going to have flood, we're gonna have spiders crawling from everywhere and attacking everybody, and people just going through a lot of bad days here. This is what Ethan was talking about in the vision that we discussed. I saw it, the lake of tears. You can see here, this is the lake, you can see blue here, and the tears are falling to the lake, but somebody screamed because the spider came down from the ceiling. We have a spider coming down from the ceiling. We have the Civil War soldiers hang on the tree. We have Tabitha's vision in the lighthouse where Jim was hanging, hanged by his legs. So once again, a theme that repeats itself, probably something that's gonna be somehow revealed season 4 or season 5. Now, once again, another thing, it looks more like a bug rather than spider, but can be spider. And this image, it's just very blurry, but those kind of like you see 4 sticky things coming out of something, and what looks like it also feels like some kind of a spidery body. Now, I have once again theory, Douglas, he was laughing, but he was angry laughing at me. He was like, as you know, I ran for 40 miles, and he's literally in a very good shape, but he's also skinny and tall. And if he's gonna especially in the trailer when he was moving like this, with his hands, it kind of gave me a spidery vibe. I think that he's somehow connected to the spider. I think he's somehow connected to the web. Maybe his original form is actually some kind of a god spider, some kind of an evil spirit in the form of a spider. I don't know what it is, but it kind of feels like one. I was talking about this in my main video about Anansi, which is an African god, I think Nigerian god, and he's a spider god, and he's a god of stories. But the only thing that it doesn't work for me, because in those stories, Anansi usually on the side of people and humanity, and he's helping them against other gods. So he's one of the good guys. So, and we know that the man in yellow definitely on the side of the good guys. Itsy Bitsy Spider, somebody's helping here in the chat. Itsy Bitsy Spider, obviously one of the lullabies, and we know we have the Tinkle Tinkle Little Star, and we know that the song that Jade was playing in the end of season 3, this is the lullaby that they were singing to the Ankui children, one of their children. And also Bacta actually said that her grandmother probably scarred her for life when she sang to her this song about they come for 3 unless you stop the melody. Which doesn't sound like a lullaby, but apparently it was. And we have, once again, a dome. It doesn't look exactly like Fromville. We don't see the diner, we don't see just houses, but there is the blue house. There's the yellow house, and there's what it looks like once again, the caves that are coming from the houses, and we know that they are connected. Those buildings, at least some of them are connected to the caves, but once again it's closed, like in the crystal ball. This is look like, it doesn't look like I draw something what I see not to forget, blah blah blah. Unless you have seen a crystal ball with the caves under the homes, this is not a crystal ball. This is his imagination. This is him drawing something of him understanding this place. Okay, so this is something that helps us viewers to understand this place better. So yeah, this is whatever this is, whirlwind of some sort, watery whirlwind. Once again, maybe there's going to be some kind of a flood here, so who knows. And there are a lot of drawings of a tree blocking the cars with crows. Okay, maybe once again it's memories, it's he's remembered, once he remembers it like this, and then he remembers it like this. Under the disco you can see once again tree here, blocking something, or then once again we have a car with crows and there is a tree in front of it, different car. So either Victor was entering this place many times, or once again he is drawing some visions or some, I don't know, some future predictions, and just a tree blocking a road without any cars as far as I can see. Very pixelated image, but you can definitely see that this is a tree cover, blocking the road. I don't know who that beauty is, but it looks like an eye and somebody who didn't wash their hair for a while. No idea what it is, just a monster. Once again, this is how Victor draws monster, a lot of black. By the way, since we talked about, the white figure with the dress, the white figure covered in black, everything black around it. Here we can see somebody here with a lot of blood, probably monster, but also white figure. So maybe the white dress is actually not a good one. It's also some kind of a monster. Just some faces. Once again, sorry for the quality. This is the best that I could master with some of the images. Also just two people, and then there's somebody laying next to them. Looks like it's a body of some sort. Another monster very similar to the one we see before, standing next to a tree probably. And school bus, a yellow school bus. I haven't seen one in Fromville, even though we have something that can be a school bus, but it's burnt. It's burnt beyond recognition, which once again makes us think that's gonna be some kind of a big fire in this place. Okay, and there is something that looks like a big family. I don't know, like two people. This is probably mom and dad, the older sister and three little children. Don't know who they are, doesn't fit any description that we know so far, so if you have any ideas, let me know. This is something also that looks like, I don't know, sign or two people, some kind of a maybe car, maybe this is wheels, maybe a bus, because it looks kind of bussy. The figure of this vehicle is not really, I don't know, doesn't look like a usual car. Here we are seeing probably just crows around something, no major details. And I have some images that are really, I have no clue, like not even remotely what the hell is that. So the first one, it looks like there's some kind of a blood. It looks like there are bricks of some sort, but what building is that? Why there is blood? Is it a building or is it maybe something different? Have no idea. This one, either it's water, and then it's some kind of a boat floating to somewhere. If there is some kind of a portal on the water, maybe this is a portal and you go inside of this portal and you actually return back home, and this is some kind of, I don't know, border of some sort. It's just, there is no water and it's just people standing here. Very difficult to understand what it is. I would love to see this image in better quality because it feels very important to me. This is no clue what the hell is that. Something white, something black, something, I don't know, trees or whatever. No idea what is that. This is blah 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 blah. The only way I can describe this image is this is blah blah blah. Enjoy. I drew you blah blah blah. Here, this is a gift. Also here, probably a body, probably a pool of blood, no head, something dismembered here also. Very difficult to understand. And this one also, no clue. White, what is this? Is it clouds? Is that something just, I don't know, paint? No idea. This one, no clue, no idea, something brownish. Now also we have Eloise's drawings, and I kind of decided maybe to, there is no point to divide them into two different videos because they're pretty much the same. Victor started drawing images because Eloise was doing this. She gave him her chalk, so he kind of kept doing this. So we have Eloise and Victor. We have a lot of smiling faces and one sad face with blonde hair. No idea what it is. We have Tinkle Tinkle Little Star. We have something here. Diner and probably one of the monsters because they're smiling. It's probably supposed to be, the black one is this moon there outside. Monsters trying to grab some kind of a car. Everybody in the car is sad. And there are monsters stopping it. Also looks like a bus or big house on wheels. Once again, a lot of faces. She enjoyed drawing some faces. This is, I would imagine this is Christopher shooting everybody. But this is weird to me because when Eloise left, this was probably the night when everybody was killed. So this is not Abby. Okay, this is Eloise's drawings, not Victor's. Eloise couldn't draw Abby unless she, once again, knew exactly how to predict the future. Or, since the story repeats itself, somebody in the town went insane, just like Abby. Maybe not Christopher, maybe somebody else, and also started shooting people. This is the only way to explain to me, because if this is the last night, then how would Eloise, she would run after mom, die or survive, whatever, and then drew some image and then Victor would find it? No, this is probably something that he found later in their house, and then he kept it away to forget Eloise, because it's pretty painful to remember something like this. Just, a lot of cars and a girl and a guy, whoever they are. This looks a little like, like those wheels, like in the ferry, in fairs. I forgot the name in English. Fuck. Like an attraction, you see it and it goes, like in London, the famous one. But definitely not something that we have seen in Fromville. So, yeah, just some people around and two people next to a car. I don't see here any details that are pretty interesting to us. This one is hard for me to understand because, once again, when children draw somebody big, it's to show that they are grown-ups or they're important somehow. We have some kind of a clouds, and this one is with some kind of a stick. Now, it looks like something comes out of this stick. Now, when I was a kid, I suddenly have my memory unlocked. I would draw like a house, and the house would have a chimney, and out of the chimney comes the smoke, and the smoke turns into clouds. It kind of feels like that. But once again, we don't have anybody who can create clouds in this place. But, we have somebody who controls weather here. If this place is controlled by someone and doesn't have its own, some agency, I don't know. But if this is the man in yellow or him, somebody, one of the monsters, because, look at the face and the teeth, it doesn't feel like this is one of the good guys. I don't know, maybe he is the one who is also controlling the weather here. The teleport tree, nothing important. Some people, some smiling people, some sad people. I guess the smiling ones are the monsters and the sad people are everybody else who are afraid, because this is their reality. This is when, before the talismans, they would hide and the monsters go, and you would spend all of your night terrified, completely, enormously terrified. Like, I cannot even imagine this to myself. This one is, I don't know, this one maybe feels a little bit like, I don't know, Miranda being attacked maybe by Smiley, but once again, they smile, they don't growl like this. But this one is actually teleporting from a different universe. I know it's probably not that, but I mean, we're speedballing here. There is no bad ideas. We are brainstorming. So I don't know if this feels weird, right? Probably it's just a monster coming out of the night. Okay, but it also kind of feels like there's some kind of a different dimension. Probably a bad situation. Somebody came, but this is like like somebody opened the door and this is the victim and those two are the monsters. This is what comes to mind. Now, also, we already have seen this image, but we can see here 3 girls and some kind of a black figure smiling, coming to them, looking at them. My idea is that this black figure is the man in yellow. This is one of his true forms. I'm still hoping for the spider, but my hopes are pretty slim at this point. I don't know. I think the creators kind of forgot about the spiders already. And we have the balladry. And we have the lighthouse in 2 different variations. Okay, and the Civil War soldier. So Eloise was not drawing something that she has seen. She was drawing something that her mom has seen. Her vision. Probably because Miranda was telling that something, like telling her stories, or she was, I don't know what she was doing, but for some reason this is Eloise images is Miranda's visions, whatever they are. Now there's also the drawing from the intro of the crow with the yellow beak, and there's a lot of yellow always connected to the crows, so it kind of makes me think, even though I hope they're not the bad guys, it kind of makes me think that they are connected to the bad guys, because yellow, the man in yellow, the yellow bile in the monsters, the yellow color is not a good color here. And we have this image, and this is the image of the boy in white, but this was drawn by Miranda. We're definitely gonna see this drawing in her room, in her basement. So this is just to remind you that there's gonna be a video where we're gonna deep dive into Miranda's drawings again and try to see if there's something interesting. Spoiler, there is something very interesting there. Okay, I'm trying to be more precise about my findings right now. I'm doing work on it, but looks like we can definitely say at least another period, if not the start for the whole From experience, if you may call it like this, but one of the main periods for this place, because there is some kind of a historical explanation to what happens here in this town, and definitely one of them is somehow connected to the first years of United States. So this is for you to, if you're not subscribed, subscribe right now, not to miss any From videos. And thank you everybody who was listening. I'm gonna stop the recording of the video right now to make sure I will be able to edit something out of it. And to the rest, I'm just gonna dive into the chat right now and let's see what you were writing, because while I was recording, I didn't that much read your chat. Thank you so much. See you on the next one. Meanwhile, bye. And the recording is stopped. I'm with you, everybody. How was it? I'm gonna try to do already video with it. I'm gonna edit it a little bit, add something extra. We have 106 people here. This is pretty cool. Let's see, I'm gonna scroll through the chat. Let's see if there's something interesting that I missed. Okay, YouTube had 2 boxes over on my screen. It says playing picture in picture. I can't fix that either. The Victor and Sarah scenes were amazing. I love them too. Why is it not showing any comments? It actually is. I can see them. Yeah, I just love how Victor has drawn everything important in this town and just perfectly forgets it until it's convenient to remember. Lol. It's called storytelling. When it's convenient, he remembers things. When it's not, he's like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Please don't want to talk about it. Never want to talk about it. The monster disembowel and drain the same way we do livestock? Maybe, but they're more like hunters than farmers in that situation. It's someone looking through keyhole, but then what is then, tainting their eye? Acosta This is season 2, okay? The drawings are from season 2, so couldn't be Acosta. Julie with the one-eye t-shirt, and she has the illusion also t-shirt with a lot of eyes. The guy with the mustache is Kevin from the Colony House. Virgin Mario, he had way smaller mustache than that. Hey, my first live stream, good job on your videos, thank you so much, I appreciate your feedback. At the end of season 2, Tabitha said that some of the drawings Victor did are from the stories his mom told him, so not everything that he drew was what he saw. Oh, that's cool, I don't remember this. I need to rewatch this moment. By the way, when I was talking, did you hear all the cartoons that my son is watching right now? Gladly we're in 2026 and there is AI that can clean sound, but I just want to know if I should prepare myself for this process. I watched this scene so many times and now I wonder if his story worked. I think he kind of did, right? If Julie is, you know, shaking and convulsing like crazy when she story walks, and Sarah did that, and Elgin did that, and Ethan did that, like they probably, you know, like Julie can interact and understand what's going on. She can be like herself in this place. And they were just drawn into this story. She was story walking and they were just experiencing this story. It's like, once again, it's like with the example that I gave in my video, playing the video game, you can rewind, you can do different kind of like choices, but still the story is pretty much built already. You can have options already built in the story and then it can develop in different ways, but you cannot really recreate this story. You're not a game developer. Or you can watch the story, or you can like think about you're holding the joystick and somebody's sitting next to you. So Julie holds the joystick when she story walks, and Elgin, Sarah, and Ethan, they're just sitting next to somebody. They can look at somebody's playing the game. Why does the car look like it's coming out of tornado wormhole? The car was skidding to a stop. Yeah, but then if you look closely to it, it's kind of, you know, it feels pretty banged up, so it's kind of bad. Blood rain, maybe, yeah, if there is going to be once again an Egypt kind of situation, so blood rain is definitely possible. The island from Lost, lol, yeah, but always wear jeans. Could Victor be psychic without knowing it? Or once again, nobody is psychic and everybody is psychic simultaneously. Like this place is talking to us, but only some people can actually listen to it. This is what Fatima said, if you remember. Fromville itself is a spider web. Once you get in, you don't get out. Yeah, kind of true. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Yeah. Ghanaian, thank you, not Nigerian. Thank you so much for fixing me, for correcting me. It's a tick. Tick sucks blood. Yeah, the buggy one, yeah, looks a lot like a tick. Monsters very on cinema. Looks like the whole Tabitha dug in the floor. Sherry's office. It looks like skeleton and muscle. Looks like a Stargate. Yeah, I saw Stargate too. Yeah, like this is probably not a Stargate. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. There are probably not going to be Stargate there, but it's possible to have some kind of a teleport, like, I don't know, some kind of a gate between worlds. I mean, if we can believe in monsters and men in yellow shape-shifting and changing form, love the analysis, thank you so much. Ferris wheel, thank you, big wheel. Cabbage Patch Kids, Cannibal Village has a lake. Igor is an absolute unit when it comes to fraud. Thank you so much. I actually would, compliment myself here. I think I'm not bad with other TV shows too. It's just From is a treasure, like, room for me. I mean, but every time there is something similar to it, like with Severance and with Silo, like this is a TV show that was made for me, like for my style of analyzing the TV shows. And a lot of times, especially in my Russian channel, when I have a bigger audience, a lot of people like, you want to analyze this TV show? And I'm like, watching, and there's nothing to analyze. Everything is pretty understandable to me, and I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Just recap. I mean, probably I should do this because, like, I want to be successful here in YouTube, and I should probably do what everybody else does. But once again, I enjoy the feeling that people come to my video, and they leave, they're like, okay, I didn't notice this. I didn't think about this. This guy actually was able to find something that I didn't notice. And like, I like to learn things, and I like to share what I learned with people. So when there is like a TV show when there is nothing to dig, and it's like, he went there and he shot this, and she like went there and they basically fell in love, like, why would anybody need a review of this? You don't know what you feel by yourself about this TV show? Anyway, moving on. I heard your son here and there in the background. Well, we're gonna have a long night. He went to sleep at 7:30 p.m. He woke up at 9 p.m. So at least 5.5, probably 6 hours of a lot of energy. So 3 a.m. is the optimistical time for us to go to sleep today, which is fun. We're gonna see some movies, TV shows, and probably a lot of cartoons. No, this is not going to be a dream. I think they actually confirmed that this is not a dream. This is happening for real. Well, the boy did send Tabitha through the lighthouse to get back to her home for whatever reason. Yeah, well, the boy in white is some kind of like a conductor of an orchestra here. I mean, this is some kind of a Machiavellian level of planning when he knew that she's gonna dig the hole in the house and then she's gonna fall, and so he sends Victor there, so he will take her through the caves to protect her, because in the caves she will be seen by the Nkui children and they will recognize her as the reincarnation of Miranda and everybody who came before her. And that way she will come to the lighthouse and he will karate kid her out of the lighthouse, so she will go to the outside and bring Henry back with Acosta. And there is like some kind of a rivalry right now between Boyd and Acosta, so it feels like a very intricate, Moriarty from Sherlock Holmes level of plan. Whatever this is, I'm still not 100% convinced about the boy in white. Is he one of the good guys or one of the bad guys? So whatever it is, I don't know. When he communicates with the people in From, his demeanor does change. It doesn't feel much as child. It's not like he's stuck being a kid forever and not referring to him changing. Maybe boy in white is related to Man in Yellow, his son even. Don't know, but there is some kind of a time issue here. Now, as soon as we start talking about time, and the pinnacle of time travel in stories for me is Dark, obviously. And in Dark, and one of the things, there's actually a movie with Ethan Hawke also that kind of explores this theme. Like, you can be your own father and you can be your own grandmother, and this is what happens in Dark. There is a character that's actually, she is simultaneously a daughter of X and her mom. Like, she gave birth to her own mom because of time travel. So the boy in white can be, if we're gonna if the creators are actually gonna explore and expand on this time traveling issue, everything can be possible. Even the theory, which sounds dumb to me right now, that Ethan somehow created this place, everything can be possible. You can put it in the loop. Okay, so Hopefully not. I don't want it to become, because, in Dark, this is the main issue. This is the time traveling issue. This is the center of the story. Everything revolves around it. The characters, everything, like the whole point of it. Now, From kind of introduced time travel only in the end of season 3. And it's not exactly time travel, it's story walking, and they all trapped in the story. So it's not changing the past and it's not changing the future, it's changing the story. So hopefully it's just going to be one of the aspects of the TV show, and not everything is going to be explained suddenly because of, time traveling issue. Oh, it's time travel that, time travel this, time travel whatever. Hopefully not. But I'm very hopeful and I'm very optimistic. I always remind myself the interview that Jack Bender gave to, once again, who is kind of like the main guy of the interview in the Fromcast, and he said to him, like when he was talking to to John Griffin for the first time, and they were just discussing about making the pilot, and then he said that John Griffin, he basically launched into this long, very intricate, very connected explanation of the lore of this world, like what started it, like he imagined talking to a history teacher with a big board that explained this led to this and this led to this. This is what I'm waiting for. This is what I'm hoping for this TV show. And it's not like one thing explains everything. Why there are spiders? Because some time travel, he was spidering and he took some spiders. Why there was this moment and why it's all stuck? Because they move in time. I don't want, I think I said it already dozens of times. I don't want one thing explaining everything. I want them, all of the moments, to connect, and then they create a big picture. This is going to be a good ending for this show. Whatever the explanation is going to be, maybe I'm not going to like the explanation, but I'm still going to say, hats off to you. You did a great job. If it's all going to connect into one picture and everything suddenly, all of the puzzle pieces are actually going to connect. Okay. So, yeah. Anyway, it's kind of a different Sunday Night Diner today. This is probably, we have more people than usual, people, and even more at some point, but it's fun. I mean, when we have something to talk about From-wise, we do that. We didn't have any time to talk about any other topics, but let's be honest, we have less than a month away before From, and nothing else matters. Yeah, so I'm not a singer. But yeah, soon in a week we're gonna have For All Mankind. I'm definitely this, and I'm definitely gonna analyze this because I'll have space. I talked about this many times, and so far, other than From, there is nothing that much interesting. I cannot keep up with the Godzilla TV show. I would love to watch the new Ryan Gosling movie, the Project Hail Mary, but it's a bit difficult to find time for it. Hopefully will. How do you think this ends? I don't think about this. Actually, I don't. I just, the for me to think how this ends is go completely into imagination and to imagine things. Something tells me Boyd is not going to survive this. I think he's on a hero journey when he's going to sacrifice himself. But once again, I like, sometimes I do fantasize, but even then it's more of an intuition kind of conversation. But most of the times I try to find clues and I try to see if they can bring me to some kind of a conclusion or educated guess. After 3 seasons, I don't have any educated guess of how is it gonna end. Right now, I don't know how, but I really hope they're gonna bring Jim back somehow. Because, and this is just me, a father in me is saying, but a kid needs a father. That's it. And Ethan needs a father. Julie probably less already, even though she loves her father a lot, and we have seen how in season 2, when she was thinking that she's gonna lose him, she went completely insane. Definitely, but... And somebody's gonna escape. I know a friend of mine, his channel Gaze For You, he told me that he thinks it's gonna end badly, and everybody's gonna die, and nobody's gonna survive. But I don't think so. I think some of the people will have sort of a happy ending. They will escape somehow. Monarch is always was kind of a Jerry Springer drama, and I think somebody's calling me. You probably heard this scream, this fierce scream of Tarzan there. Da 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 da. Anyway, everybody, thanks so much. Next time we're probably not gonna be recording a video or something like this. We're just gonna have a conversation, have some fun. But don't forget, every Sunday, same time, we have Sunday Night Diner. We talk, discuss things, have some fun, and that's it. If somebody needs something more than that, you're not gonna get it. But if you're looking for some good time with people, with like-minded people who are interested in the same thing that you are, in the same TV shows, in the same style of the TV shows, don't forget, every Sunday Night Diner. And I'm gonna be editing the video that I made for today, and just gonna add maybe some zooms, some whatever, to make it look more entertaining. And probably tomorrow. Probably. I'm not that busy right now. I have some work, but not that much work. Anyway, have a good day, have a good morning.